Hey everyone, welcome back to CryptoCache. Thanks for joining me here. We're going to take a quick look at Litecoin. And before we do, we usually look at Bitcoin first. It's trading right around 66,700 at this point, but we have a strong support at 66, and of course, a major resistance at about 67, at least potential resistance. It was a support level yesterday. We'll see where the one-day candlestick closes here, but for now, very good things here for Bitcoin. Not super concerned with the retracement. That is actually very standard, considering we had a pretty significant overextension for TD sequential on the 4 hour. So we can expect at least another day or two worth of consolidation closer to 66 with a potential break to the upside. And also, if you're new to the channel, I'm not a financial advisor, just got to let you know that. And just note that I have a trading community designed for the specific purpose of helping you become better traders. So I love helping people trade, and that is my goal. So obviously check that out in your own time. The group and community is growing fast, so make sure you consider joining before a month is over. We have limited slots available, and the price will be increasing in December. Now take a look here at Litecoin. We're looking at the 4 hour chart. Just a quick understanding here of kind of what's going on. We're obviously a bit on the overextended side here too, right? So very similar to Bitcoin, only difference is Litecoin is just continuing on, right? So if we take a quick look at TD sequential, we can see we hit a 9 with about 4 to 8 hours worth of consolidation and another bump up to the upside here. So Litecoin seems to be taking off here, and we'll see what happens soon, but it's definitely looking very good. Now, why don't we go ahead and take a look at the one-day chart and see where we're at with some of the traditional indicators. We do have a golden cross here forming. That makes sense based on the fact the price just jumped up, but all in all, that's actually always a very good bullish indication. Also, further note, we are above 70 on the RSI, so that could very well work as a support level moving forward. We'll see how the RSI kind of transitions over the next few days. A little early to tell, but that's actually a very, very good sign. Looking at the 4 hour chart, we can probably see a very similar pattern here with the moving averages where the price is essentially moving current with the moving average. So the 50 is working its way up as with the price. So we'll see that intersect eventually. For right now, the 200 is trailing behind. 70 is up, well, price is up over 70 rather on the RSI. Big surprise, right? That's what happens when the price increases like that. So the common rule of thumb is that, again, watch my RSI video if you want insight on that. But traditionally, you're supposed to take profits when the RSI starts to kind of taper off and come down. That's the general concept, but it doesn't always work that way on significantly bullish trends, which appears to be the case here for Litecoin. I wouldn't expect Litecoin to get tremendously larger, but I can tell you that it's definitely past due, right? It's been meaning to do this for a long time. Especially if we look at the one-day chart. I mean, it was at like it tested, I think, 250, 240 range a couple of weeks ago, just before Bitcoin started to kind of consolidate closer to 60,000. All right, so all's well there. Again, we're on the overextended side, so just kind of clarify to the sequential overextended here for this, right? That's pretty normal. Let's go ahead and take a look at the 1 hour, kind of see how we're doing here, because the 1 hour chart is probably the most effective time frame when you got a price indication where the price is indicating significant bullish momentum to the upside for this amount of time. We need to know what's going on more so on the micro level. I mean, we don't necessarily look at the 15 and the 1 minute, but the 1 hour is very helpful. So let's go ahead and first of all look at TD sequential. We're at another 9, or just past that. So at best, we've got 3 hours more worth of bullish momentum before the price potentially will consider to consolidating or retracing. All right, but good news is we did have a nice little period of consolidation here, so that's going to help us. That's why this next extra leg up had occurred, because it's having this nice staircase pattern. You'll see me talk about this all the time if you're new to the channel. I always refer to good bullish momentous trends having a staircase pattern, not necessarily just a parabolic pattern, right? You get a lot of YouTubers out there that are super stoked and super excited about this, straight upwards. And they don't really talk to you about how it's going to come down about 80% of its original starting point. This isn't going to come down that quick based on the sheer fact that it is healthily increasing. That makes sense. Okay, so that's a good sign. That. So let's go ahead and take a quick look at what's the next one here. Ishimoku Cloud. I know we're far away from that, but just note if the price were to come back down, it does commonly bounce and or kind of travel into the cloud, and that works as a support level. So there's a strong chance we could see that. Let's go ahead and take a look next at the good old TD. Go ahead and take a look at Fibonacci and kind of see where we're at here. Now what we'll do is we'll go ahead and remove some of these previous lines, kind of see what's going on just with a fresh, clean start. That way we know exactly where we're at with things. In fact, I think we're going to want to leave that previous one up here, because that's the previous high, right? So right at about 230 is where it hit. just before September 7th. And we know what that was, right? That was the wonderful El Salvador candle. So we broke through that. That's effectively a new support level, right? So good news is that will be a strong support if the price does retrace back down. 232 would be a fantastic entry point if the price were to come back down, right? But right now, reports of 274. So what we want to do is just go ahead and mark some of these lines here. And I go ahead and establish some support and resistance zones and just kind of see what potential we have. With these kind of bullish trends, oftentimes it'll just leg down to the next lowest support level, which would be 256. So I would think that it's pretty safe to presume that 256 would be the next major milestone, or just case in point where the price might retrace if it cannot break this resistance about 274. So oftentimes we'll see the price consolidate here and then leg up again, at least in these nice bullish trends. You can kind of see something happened here before too, where the price went sideways here and then continued upwards. It's very, very similar to that, where we could see the sideways action and another increase. I personally feel that it's been on the overextended side. It might and should come back down to 256, 260 range, and then perhaps leg up. So I'm just going to go ahead and mark my chart here at 260, set an alert just in case, because if the price comes down there, it'd be an awesome place to either add to your position or consider taking entry if you aren't already in just yet. You have money, if you're invested presently, I recommend maybe taking some profit, because obviously, we just took profits in our signal group here for our swing trade trades, right? So I think we had like 40 some odd % here recently, which was what, from I think 160 upwards of 230. But our next profit target is much higher than that, right? Because I'm confident in the sense that we can see Litecoin get to its previous all-time high. I think that's very safe to say, especially with Bitcoin being slated to hit 6 figures this year. So the next target of 314 is very realistic. So honestly, if you get in now or get in at 260, I think you'll still be able to get some decent profits of upwards of just say 20%. Okay. So just something to note, something to consider. Definitely in good shape here with Litecoin. So again, best case scenario, if Litecoin continues its current trend, right, we get like 3 more days of the same exact momentum, which I'd rather doesn't happen because I want to see consolidation first. But if that does happen, we'll be upwards about 379 by that point, and it'll probably be close to testing its previous all-time high close, right? Which is roughly, I think it's what is it, 390. Roughly about 390. We're going to see that happen. So just bear that in mind. Good stuff here from Litecoin, but there's definitely there definitely needs to be a cooling off period soon in order for this to continue. Because this is, I wouldn't say this is too high too fast, but if we don't get consolidation, it might become a problem. So hopefully you found benefit here today. If you do, like and subscribe. Thank you very much for joining me here, of course. I will look forward to seeing you in the next video. Have a great rest of your day. Take care.